So some vegetable oil with 3 finely chopped onions, and just going to wait for them to go, have a bit of colour in them. They're a bit darker in colour, so a bit browny. Leave them to fry for a bit. Put the lid back on, leave them for a few minutes and come back and check. Right, just going to check now how the onions are looking after a few minutes. And as you can see, they've got a bit of a colour now, going a bit golden brown. Just give it a little stir. Looking for it to all go golden brown. Not burnt, just golden brown. This will give it a bit of flavour. And the onions have also released water as well. Just keep mixing it for a bit. And just put the lid back on now for another couple of minutes. And come back and check. So it's been about a minute now, and as you can see, it's gone very brown. Going to add a bit of cold water, and this is going to help to melt the onions. Just mix it for a bit. Now the aim is to melt the onions now, before we add anything else into it. The heat is high as well. Okay, so as you can see in here, I've already chopped garlic and ginger and put it in the food processor. And now I'm going to put this into the oil with the onions. Going to slowly now add the garlic and ginger. Into the onions. Okay, and now I'm going to give it a good mix. Make sure it's all mixed in with the onions, and let it cook for a couple more minutes. And as you can see now, that with adding the cold water to the onions, it's softened it now as well. So it's turning into a bit more of a paste, which is what we're looking for. And it's got a bit of more colour now as well to it. So the next thing now is to add some tomatoes. So here is about 4 tomatoes, which I boiled, and now I blitzed them in the blender. As you can see, you can use tinned tomatoes as well, or you can just use fresh tomatoes and put them into the onion mix. But I like to just blend them. And now I'm going to add this into the mixture. Okay, so I've added the tomatoes. So currently in here you've only got oil, onions, garlic and ginger, and now about 3 to 4 tomatoes that have been blitzed in the food processor. Just going to give it a mix now and let it cook for a bit. And if you just check now, you can see the onions, they're very soft, melted. It really helps when you're making the curry as well to have soft melted onions. So no spices yet. Okay. So now I'm going to add 1.5 to 2 spoons of mixed basar, which is like mixed with curry powder and mixed spices. You can find this on the shelf in any of the Asian stores. Supermarkets will do it as well. It's got all your spices already mixed in it. So about 1.5 to 2 spoons, as we're adding 2 baby chickens into this. 2 small baby chickens, so that should be enough. Just give it a mix. Because I like my curries spicy, I've added 3 tablespoons of the basar, which is the mixed curry powder, and now I'm going to add some methi, which you can also find in the shops, and it's called dried fenugreek leaves. And this just gives it a bit more flavour. You can buy this in little packets in the supermarket. So now it's got a nice red, green, golden colour. If I just show you the consistency now as well, how it's melting away. You've got a nice smooth paste forming. Right, and as you can see now, I'm not sure you can tell, the oil is now separated now. And then, so this is basically your masala paste now for any sort of curry you're looking to make. And now I'm just going to add 2 baby chickens into this mix. See? 2 baby chickens. It's not easy filming and trying to mix at the same time, but I'm trying my best. Right, so I've mixed it all in now, and now I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'm only going to add a little bit of salt because I always add some more afterwards. You know, if you it's better to add less than add more. You can't take it out. We're just going to add a little bit of salt. And just give it a little mix. Right. The heat is still high, and now what I'm going to do is cook the chicken and let it release its water for about 8 to 10 minutes. I have managed to get a little helper now to help me with the stirring, so I can film this for you all as well. So yeah, about 8 to 10 minutes on high heat, let it release its water. And then we'll look to add the spinach. I'll show you which spinach I'm using as well. I picked it up from, you can pick it up from Asda, Tesco's, any of the supermarkets will do it as well. You find it in the Asian, the world food aisle. But yeah, you can see all the water coming out as well. So this is a spinach I'm going to put in. I think this one was from Morrison's, which is about £1, but Tesco's do it, Asda do it, like I said, they all do them. And what we're looking for is spinach puree. And this is what I'll be putting into the chicken shortly. And as you can see now, the chicken's got a really nice colour. It's released water as well. Still high, the gas is still high. And I'm going to cook it for a bit longer, and then I'll add the spinach. Don't want to put the spinach in too early because I don't want to lose nutrients from the spinach. Spinach, because it's puree, won't take long for it to cook. So just want to make sure the chicken is 3/4 cooked, I guess. And I'll add the spinach. I've just added 4 bird's eye green chilies, finely chopped. This is up to you if you want it more spicy or not. And as you can see, it's nearly 3/4 cooked now, the chicken. As I'm making chicken spinach, now would be the time where if you want to make just chicken curry, you could add potatoes into this, peas. This is the time you'd add the potatoes and peas now, if that's what you wanted to put into it. But because I'm going to make chicken spinach, I'll be adding spinach in it shortly. So yeah, you can make this into a chicken and potato curry, chicken pea and potato curry. But for me today, this is going to be a chicken and spinach curry. Okay. And as you can see now, the oil is starting to separate from the chicken. And now I should be able to add the spinach. Okay. As you can see, just added the spinach. That's 1 can at the moment. Just going to see how that looks with 1 can. Potentially might add another can because this is 2 baby chickens in here, so it's quite a lot. So I'm just going to give it a mix. Well, my helper's giving it a mix. Okay, so this is 1 can of spinach. This is what 1 can of spinach looks like. But I've decided I'm going to be optimistic and add another can of spinach. Here goes. Just going to give that a mix. Might turn into Popeye afterwards, but oh well. Spinach can't be bad for you, is it? Let's get a nice, good mix. Okay. So I've had the lid on for about just over 5 minutes, and this is what it looks like. Can't see because it's all bubbling away. I'm trying to show you a bit closer. It's releasing some water now as well. So I'm going to put the lid back on now and leave it for another 5 minutes and then check it again. Okay, just going to check to see what it looks like now. And trying to get a good angle so you can see what it looks like. You can see. That's cooked. And it's cooked now. We're just going to add some garam masala, about half a tablespoon, if you can see it. And we're going to add a little bit of the kasuri methi, which is dry fenugreek leaves. Just going to add some of that into it. Yeah, just going to give that a little stir. And I've got some dried coriander in the freezer, so I'm just going to put some of that in it as well. So that's dhania. And I'm just going to give it all a mix now. So just mixing the dried coriander, the garam masala and the kasuri methi. Just going to mix that now. Leave it for about a minute or two and then That's it really, the dish is done.